Morning, guys. Hi, thank you. This is the power of Facebooks. Yeah, I think who knows me here by Facebook actually? Know the brand? Okay, then you. That's really powerful. So, and can I have a raise of hand if here today, you want to have a startup of your own company, want to get some inspiration, or you are a startup business? May I say so? I can input my content accordingly to what you want to hear. Can I raise your hand? Who want to start up and is in the startup? Wow, that's half of you. Okay, so I'll begin the session here. Basically, it is an 1 hour sharing my Oxwhite journey, and in this is a storytelling. I hope it's engaging with you, and maybe you can take some pointers from my sharing as well. If you do know, Oxwhite, we starting almost 5 months ago, and the website launched June 30th, 2018, and today we are very blessed that we have almost 13,000 customers, and we have sold more than 25,000 white shirts that I'm wearing today, and with just one product. So my story will begin with why we do this and my journey. So as you can see, literally almost a year ago, I am just like you. I think you're much better than I do. I just have a Facebook account, I have a Gmail account, I only have an Instagram account. I do not know anything about Google marketing, Facebook marketing. I do not know, but I'm just like you, attending a lot of events to get inspiration from. The one on your left is me attending one of the events in Kuala Lumpur, and the one on your left is I'm sharing at one of the sessions with about 1,000 people, and this is for you to know what kind of journey I've been through, why in a short 1 year time, being just an audience like you, and I can become on the stage to share the story. And it has to do with the product. Oxwhite started with addressing a very strong consumer pain point. That is how we bring the European American standard of a well-made shirt that fits Asian physique and also fits Asian wallet. Men out there, you would know if to get a very high quality shirt like all the big brand names, it's very hard to get your fitting. Often the time the sleeve slightly longer and the shirt is quite long, because these are made for Western physiques. They are not made for Asian. So I started the journey by discovering a but yet it's very basic consumer pain point. The local brand here, they often do not meet international standard. So as you can see, why selling an Oxwhite shirts, a white shirts with one SKU, we can have this kind of customer review like they are unboxing a, experience like unboxing an iPhone. So if you can read from the top, my neck is getting longer where I'm reading so many Oxwhiters getting their shirts. Today, I received an email saying that my order is being processed and a tracking number was given. The feel was like waiting SPM results. You are foreigner? Okay, SPM result is like getting an A level, waiting for A level result. You know how hard you sit for exams, and you are like waiting the box like getting a SPM result. And the bottom one is say that today is my bad day, and I can't start my car after I left in the car park for 2 days, busy making phone call, contacting workshop for a battery replacement, and towing my car to the service center. It's like, I thought, oh shit, this is a very bad review for Oxwhite. Then I continue reading. Spend 5 to 6 hours waiting in the hot sun, gut house, finally reach home seeing this package on my table. At least not my entire day is bad day. So this customer received the Oxwhite shirt that he purchased 4 months ago, and finally they got it. at home. So it has to do like why Oxwhite has this kind of attraction. So, and this guy is Fidel Stoll. He is the bank CEO in Malaysia. He is one of the largest bank CEO, and he happened to be one of our customers. And look at him, he can afford all the shirts that he wants, and he can afford, but yet he chooses to wear Oxwhite, and he proudly displayed that in his personal Facebook page that he's wearing Oxwhite. And today I just managed to know that most of his apparel closet is all filled with Oxwhite shirt, and he has more than 10 of those. So you can see that the quality and the emotion connection that they have with the Oxwhite is really amazing. So, and this story really has to begin why I started this and where's my journey began. Myself, unlike most of you, grew up in Penang, in this beautiful island. I grew up in Negeri Sembilan, a very small town, a very small town with less than 5,000 people, and often, in the kopitiam or a cafe for foreigners, the guy sitting next to me is Aboriginal people, Orang Asli. And I do not have the privilege of 7-Eleven, KFC, traffic lights, the basic necessity I don't have. But what I have is a very loving family, and that's my father and mother. So how it was that when I was a child, my mom would love to bake cakes and make things and cook things and fried rice. So my father and mother would say, "Hey, Chikyong, why not you distribute all the cakes that I just made to all the neighbors in the housing area?" So from very young, since I know cycling, I think it's like age 5 or 6, I would, in a very small plastic bag, I would go to each house, and my mother taught me the power of sharing. And in return, I often get receiving, like sometimes I got chicken bag, I got vegetables that is planted. So I was young, I was not scared to strangers. So that really gave me a very good approach to society. So when I was studying until Form 5, I need to further my study for STPM. That's where I went to Seremban, a slightly larger town with more traffic lights and KFC, to pursue my A-level studies. I have a hard time struggling because I'm really not good in science. But you do know that back in my days in 1998, if you get a very good SPM result, often your teacher will tell you should do science. Hey, I went to STPM, taking all the science. Remember, I don't like physics, I don't like chemistry, and I have to memorize everything, including mathematics. I don't know what's happening with the numbers, I don't know what's happening with the formulas, because I did not know how physics works, because I can't see them, and how you can write that down. So it never related to me personally. So, but to my preference, I finish it. But one of my activities I always do during afternoon, I will go to the public swimming pool to have my swimming, to relax my tensions. And one of the guys that I met during the swimming pool as a stranger, and he saw me every single day, and we have a chit chat and asked me what I'm doing. I say I'm doing my SPM, but STPM, I'm very stressed. And he told me, why not you go and study in Canada? You can. I say I don't have money. He said it's okay. In Canada, you can go. You can work part-time, and then you can pursue your education. And with his just a small advice, the same night I went to the popular bookstore. I bought the KL map. I rode a bike from Seremban to KL, to Canadian Embassy, to ask about the process of starting my education in Canada. So I was lucky. I was being accepted in one of the university, Carleton University in Ottawa. A friend just said, you just go to this university, because this university has less Chinese, less Asian, because it's in Ottawa. The city is bilingual. That means the signage will have English and French. And the people there are super friendly. So I took his words. I just flew to Canada. And to my surprise, to my parents' surprise, because they saved just right enough money for me to go to public university. That is roughly about 50,000 ringgit back in 1999. I remember. So I told my parents, look, I need to study in Canada, and he asked me how much. I say it's 50,000 a year. He said, son, I only have 50,000 for your whole entire education, and in Canada need 4 years of degree program, and how you going to afford it? I say, it doesn't matter, you just give me your money, I will figure it out. So I took the chance with the 50,000. I started my university day. So the first thing I did when I landed in the school, the first 3 weeks I already looking for job. And my first job here, you can see I work in a cafeteria. I make scrambled egg, not few, hundreds of those, because my university have 20,000 students, and I work in a residence cafeteria that has 5,000 students. So every time when I'm free, I make scrambled egg. Then I realized no matter how hard I make, I think for the entire year I can only save enough for my education fee. I don't think I can save enough for my living expenses. Then I saw a poster put up for looking for job that is taking care students with disabilities. So my university I went to, they have the best university in North America for students with disabilities. All the doors, the staircase, they have ramps, all automatic. You can press a button, the door will open. Back then in year 2000. So I interview for the attendant, they call it. So I will go and take care of the students that are living on campus for their daily living. For example, to bath them, to feed them, to put on clothes for them, and to clean their unit. When the time I was doing my interview, I was the first international student there to apply for the job, because they can't speak, most of these people. They are all, he only have the brain working and some very little physical movement. So, and all of this, they have to take a lot of medication to control their spasm, or they have some disability and otherwise. So as I grow up from a kampong boy, I do not know anything about like medical terms, and I do not speak English really well. How I learned English back then, I would have a roommate sit next to me, and we watch CNN news, and I literally asked him, what does that mean? Every single word, because I figured that was the easiest shortcut for me to learn English back then. So back then it doesn't have, I still brought my big Oxford dictionary to there, but it's taking too much time to learn from that dictionary. So I get my way to learn English from them. So having this job is good. It paid 3 times more, and I got the job because I have volunteered during my school year in high school in hospital, taking care of disability. I said, you give me a 1 week chance. If I don't make it and student complain me, I will leave automatically. But you give me a week chance, because I need that salary, which is 3 times more I fried the eggs. So I took the chance, and within a year, I'm very blessed that I voted, one of the best attendant for that year. Me being an outsiders, Asians, and all these are Westerners. So, but I take care them with care. I don't bath them, I massage them as well. So before they sleep, because imagine the whole day, 12 hours they were sitting in a chair, so they have little movement. So every single client, I massage them, gao. So they're really, really happy. And I don't just bath them, I really scrub them, and I don't just put shampoo on the hair, I massage their hair too. So this kind of little tender care that really show what I am today. And you can see, because I work in this job, right, I have to wait long hours. And often when they put them to bed, the school bus and the bus services in the town, because I want to save money, I also stay a little bit far from campus. And you can see during those days, because I want to save money, I didn't have a big budget with me, I dress like this. I brought with me a few pair of jeans, have Nike shoes, I remember back then, and one sweater, and t-shirts. And I cycle in winter, minus 20 degrees, back and forth from school every single day during the winter times. Because it's harder for me to walk, because it will take 30 minutes. If I cycle, it's 10 minutes. So that's how like crazy I am that time. Midnight, I was cycling like this in minus 20 degree, going to school. Because in Canada, in the place I'm in, it winter almost 6 months out of a year. And even almost to spring, you will have this kind of like weather. So it's not a surprise. So one fine day in the winter, when I cycle, after the freezing rain means the temperature is rain, then it get very cold, the road became icy. And I came back from work at 12 midnight. I fall down in the middle of the road without proper headgear, without everything else. And I just realized that I no longer can trade my time for money. Because at this job that I have, I enjoy, but every hour I have to work, I only get paid. I cannot get more than that. So then I was telling my Canadian partners, my roommate back then, his name is Kevin. I said, Kevin, can you give me like some ideas? I want to do some business in Canada when I'm in school. And that was in year 2, after I saved enough for the next year tuition and living expenses. He said, okay, yeah, CK, I heard there's a good like ideas that came from other university. I think we can implement in this campus. That is back then to sell used books on consignment. If those that you have studied overseas before, you know that you need to spend a fortune every semester to buy textbooks. And you will have a very hard time as well for you to sell it right after you finish your course. So my friend gave me this idea was, you set up a bookstore, okay, put some shelvings there. Students, when they finish the class, they bring the books to us. We display the price for them, how much they want to sell. So student will come and buy. Once the book sold, we get 20% cut. So that was how's the business model. I say, yeah, why not? Good idea. I can do it. Then I was asked him, can you be my partner? Because he's the only person I know. So together with him, we started a bookstore, and that's called Haven Books. And that was in my year 2. Back then, students, international students, only work. They don't start business in university. So, and there I started a bookstore, but with a very interesting startup point. Because we cannot start on campus, we have a very big campus. And campus, of course, belong to university. And the university bookstore run by university. They have a very good profit from that. So they will not allow a competitor or students to set a bookstore within university. So what I did, because I have very little money, I went opposite the school, that where the housing is. You know, it's like if you have USM here in Penang, there are residences, there's no shop lots. I will go on knock house to house literally. I asked them, ma'am or sir, you have a living room or some storage room or a basement can rent for me? I want to start my business, I want to sell textbooks. And it sounds silly, you know, because I'm going to a private home. And after like half a day, I got one single mom with a young children, and she has a kitchen, storage place that she thinks she can rent for me. She thought I was joking. Yeah, I said, boys, you can take for $300 a month. I took it. That's how I started the bookstore. I bought IKEA shelf and my own computer. I use it for my bookstore. You see the little drawing there? Because the bookstore was so quiet back then, her daughter just came to me and started drawing with me, and I would just put up on the wall. But I didn't let that to, you know, although there's no business, nobody know about us. Moreover, on campus, you cannot advertise. The university noticed there's a bookstore startup in competition with them. They told all the security officers there will be no Haven Books flyers on campus. There will be no any kind of advertising in student magazine whatsoever. That's the instruction given by the university. So, but that doesn't stop me. So there I was, to figure out how to survive, because I have gambled all my living expenses for the next half year on IKEA shelf and rental. So one of the idea I got to get students know about my business, I will go to a lecture hall in every first class. Like today, let's say I'm a professor, I'm giving out, the course outline. So you will have a handout to know, what requirement and what textbook you use. I will be one of the guy back there, and when the professor go through the syllabus, I will just raise my hand. I say, Professor, I got my books cheaper at Haven Books. It saved me $20. Everybody look at me, and looks what happened. Right after the class, my bookstore get lines up. And people look at me, where's your bookstore? Then I figured out I can't do it all by myself, because when the semester starts, there are hundreds of classes started in the same time, right? Because you cannot do that in the second class. Students only buy textbook in the first week or the first 20 days. If you miss that, voila, thank you. So in a year 2, I knew this technique worked and nobody can stop me. I start hiring students. I pay them. I say, every class you go, I give you a outline, which class, what time, what books you use, how much you save, you go. And each class you go, I give you $10. So I start employing 20 to 30 students going around the classes for me, and you guess what happened? This is the lineup during school time. Although we are student startup, and this is year 3 in my operations, I still go to school full time, and I still work at the attendance services on weekends, because I worry that I do not have enough income, or the bookstore cannot pay me. So I still work part-time and go to school full-time and running the bookstore full-time with my partners. And we love the students so much that they have to walk literally almost 20 minutes from campus on a hot summer days like this. So what we will do, after they came to the bookstore, regardless they buy or not buy, we will give them a free lemonade. Across the street, there's a Latino restaurant, cafe. We give them voucher, say, there's a free lemonade to you. And in the winter time, which is in January, it's like winter, like while I'm cycling, and students still walk. Guess what we do? We give free hot chocolate. So that's warm every student. And you can imagine being a small bookstore like this, and that time you only can pay by credit card or debit card or cash. With 3 students and hiring 20 over students, one day our peak sales is 150,000 Canadian dollars in in a 1,000 square feet space. It's not big bookstore. It's a very small bookstore. People just love us, and we are genuinely giving good service to students. That's how we got. So I was very lucky. During my final year of university, I'm a student, so I use the money I make from the bookstore. I start investing in properties, rent to students. So that's how my entrepreneurship journey and dare to take risk journey began. And I graduated. My bookstore hired me as a vice president of marketing. So I'm hiring myself so I can stay in a bookstore. But you know what? It's not so enjoying anymore after you graduate and you're still dealing with students after 2 years after that. So at the time, Canada had a lot of TV show that inspired me. Like how Westerners like you don't speak Chinese, you don't use chopstick, you never eat noodles in your life, and you never eat dim sum in your life. They took a briefcase, went to Hong Kong, went to China Canton Fair. They got themselves the break of the life, because they will bring something back and propose to Walmart what is the next big thing for Christmas. And I saw this kind of document is so inspiration for me. So I say, I eat rice, I speak Cantonese, I know my culture. I think I can do this instead of them. So I just told my partners back then, I say, look, I think Asia is calling me, I need to go home. So then I sold my share, I bring cash, bring some money, I flew back to Malaysia in year 2007. I said, let me explore what Asia has to offer. So I came back. That time, I want to start a cafe, even before Old Town. I want to make Starbucks half the price or even cheaper, because back then in my school days, my school has 3 or 4 Starbucks, and it only cost $1.20 for a coffee. And here, oh my God, it's 10 ringgit, right? So back then, every student can afford Starbucks to school. It's so like you buy mineral water. It's not a luxury, but it's a luxury here. Then I figured out if I can make it cheaper, I think I can have a business model. But I did not persevere enough, and I did not push this through. Although I have travel to Southeast Asia, Korea, Japan to study the cafe culture. But one mistake I make is I speak to the wrong audience. I ask all my uncles and my friends to get the advice. Look, uncle, I want to start a cafe, and I want to sell this coffee for $5. So I start making them coffee. And look, guess what? They told me, CK, the kopitiam coffee is nicer. Not the Americano, not the latte. Nobody will pay 5 ringgit for your thing. I said, people pay 10 ringgit for Starbucks. Yeah, that's Starbucks, you see. That Starbucks is not you, right? And then he teach me how to look through the numbers. You know, you deduct the rental and the coffee machine, you won't make any money. That really discouraged me, and I gave up. I really gave up after a year of survey of this cafe business. And then Old Town opened up. I say, oh my God, that's exactly my idea, but they now started and very successful. I gave it up, and I'm working for my uncle, and that itself took 10 years. So my uncle started in a watch distribution business. So during that time, I have a lot of privilege to go travel with him to international city, to have a lot of exposure. And during this time as well, I can see whole economy change from being very offline, bricks and mortar store. For the past 5 years, things are start to transition to online. And in my position, I really did not know what to do, right? Although I have a title of business development manager, I really do not know how to cope with the online world. You know, how you bring an offline product to online and compete internationally. And you only can hear, but you can't do anything, right? So then I have a kid on my own. So I was married with 2 young children, and they start to grow up. So this is exactly, a year ago, the picture taken. And one fine day, I asking myself, I live quite comfortable life. I have a house, I have a car, I have 2 beautiful children, and my wife is working. So decent family in Kuala Lumpur. But there's a calling inside me. I should, call up the little voice, inside me. Because I very admire how Jack Ma, how Tony Fernandez, how Zappos CEO, Sir Richard Branson. I read all the books. I got inspired from them, but I want to be like them. I want my children really proud of me one day that their father is not, got a nice car because they're working for someone else. I want to have a business that carry my own voice. I want my children proud with me that I achieved something for myself, like how I achieved for my bookstore. Then I told my uncle, I say, Uncle, I need to resign because I think I need to do something else. And he told me, you sure? He said, why not you explore what you want to do? And he paid me half salary. And I told him, look, no, because that's even proof I need to do it on my own 100%. So I resigned, and I discover what is available for me for the bookstore, for the online commerce, because I know every journey you go in to be successful, it takes a lot of time, at least 10 years. Alibaba today is 18 years. AirAsia being so successful today is more than 10 years. So I knew that patience has to do with time. So we want to get overnight success. So I need to choose the right industry to be in. So I chosen online. But as you know, I only have Facebook account, Gmail account, and Instagram account. How do I get that? So I attend seminar just like you. And this below that I will share with you, there are 3 key moments that I make in my life, the decision that connect me where I am today, and I would like to share that with you. The first person I met was Chang, and he's the founder of Fitgear. You know Fitgear, right? Yeah, okay. So I read their article, and I being their customers, what they do connected to me, and how amazed these few young kids. I saw someone wearing Fitgear shirt here. So, and these 3 young kids have only savings of 3,000 ringgit. In a short 1.5 year, they sold 50,000 shirts, t-shirts. Okay, and how they do that is so amazed, because from the industry where I'm from, you need a lot of capital to start a business. You need to buy inventory, set up store, set up office, and they don't. So me being a customer, I approach them. I say, can you meet me? Because I never met them before, I don't have a common friend. I say, your business model is amazing. So I wrote in few email, finally they reply me. They say, yeah, we can meet up for coffee. And then it's just a second time after we have coffee. And I say, can I buy you coffee again on weekend? Because what you share me is so amazing and eye-opening for me. Can I buy you breakfast on weekend so we can chat more instead of half an hour? They say, no, CK, this weekend we are going off for Hong Kong. We got a trade fair to attend. They will do sourcing. I say, oh no. Then on the way driving back, I was like, the little boy is calling me. I think I need to go there with them. So how? You follow me to my trade fair, right? I don't know you. So I say, worst is no. I give them a call. Hi, Chang. Hey, how about like this? My previous job, I always travel to Hong Kong. I know where you have a good food. I know where to stay. I know, where to get coffee, how to do the transportation. Can I follow you, carry your luggage? I just be tag along. I won't bombard it. I don't ask you about your personal, like dealing with your business, but let me be with you so I understand how e-commerce work, what kind of thought process you have to decide a product and how to select a product. It's like, I'm from a watch line. I know watch fair, but I don't know anything about apparel fair. So, I came with the preparation. They say no, but eventually they say yes to me. So I flew with them the next weekend, the same weekend to Hong Kong. And there where I get to know them very well. You know why very well? Because they decide to save money. They stay in this dungeon hotel. Okay, it's like a 3-star, but it's 600 ringgit one day. Bunker's bed, no cold shower, no hot shower. Myself, I used to travel a little bit luxury. I stay in a 4-star hotel nearby. I offer them, I say, look, my room is big, I know. Why don't you stay with me? Because I accompany them to check in first. I say, why don't you stay cram in my room? They say, no, CK, we are fine with this. Guess what? Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., they call me up. They need hot shower in my room. That's where I get them in my room. 4 of us slept in the same bed, some in a couch. And that's how we spend 4 days. And I get to know them as a person and how they run a business. And today he became one of my partners in digital execution. And the next person I want to share with you, his name is Winston, and he runs digital marketing agency, and he's a guest speaker of a lot of events, digital event out there, and he teach entrepreneurship. And one of the sharing in front of 2,000 to 3,000 people in Kuala Lumpur, what he say exactly makes sense to me, and I go after him in the stage to tell him that, look, what you share with me really engaging. I want to follow you, meet your friends. And one of the incidents, same, after second coffee time, and he told me, CK, why not you do something? I said, I don't have an idea. And this white shirt idea is given by him. Because he runs digital agency, he knows lots of data. I said, I don't know how to run like digital business. And then he told me, look, CK, why not you start something else and let me assist you on the side? And I said, I don't know, but I also can't teach you, I don't have time, but I'm going off to London this week, tomorrow. Then again, I use the same strategy. Can I follow you? Because by following him to London, I can have 14 hours in the flight and 4-5 days in London to get to know him and how to get the mentality of a digital campaign. And there I was in London, knowing nothing about shirts to begin with. I start to walk the street of London. And this is the one fine Bubbles that I met on one of my journey. He dressed really well. I went in, I asked him, "Sir, why you can dress so well even as a bubble?" And then he teach me about the dressing tips and stuff like that. That's how every single day with his tips, right, the shop to visit, I walk 40,000 steps every single day, and I did a lot of question and answers. So every shop that I went to, I start asking questions. What is this fabric? Why some shirt cost more? Why some shirt cost less? Where's the fabric made from? What is the style, color style? So from zero in the 4 days, I become like a small expert in terms of knowing what to do. So then after I know what I want to do, I need to figure out how to get the shirt manufactured. So one of the person I met during I resigned in Johor Bahru, a friend of mine, his name is Alan. He told me he know I want to do a startup, and happen his client operate a factory that has make the world quality product in Indonesia. That's how he connect to me, because when I knew what product I want to produce, I traveled to shirt company, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Hong Kong. I get nowhere because the shirt I choose to produce is like a Mercedes-Benz of the shirt. It's so expensive to make, and only few factory in the world makes them because it's non-iron shirt. So with the breakthrough for introduction with a friend, I get to know the factory owners. I have the shirt figured out how to make. So then it come back to how to launch it, right? So we only have one product, which is just one white shirt, and we're doing a pre-order business model. Men, like, we don't buy shirt online from my survey. Men don't buy shirts online. They will put them on and try it, and then to see if they fit them and touch the material. But today our only business model is online, and you imagine how challenging it was. And if they do buy online, it's the brand they're already familiar with. And some more, I asked them to wait for 4 months, right? So why 4 months? After I figured out how the shirt is made, it costs so high it costs a lot of money to make them. It's 60 ringgit to make this white shirt. Traditionally, a white shirt like this, it probably cost 20 over ringgit to 30 ringgit. And we double up the amount. And I can't make it very affordable, because being affordable means I envision everyone can afford to look good and wear a white shirt just like me. It's a very basic. I start with a vision. So, and one fine day, I got inspiration from Tony. I was thinking myself, because from the survey I asked a friend, would you buy online? No. Would you wait for 4 months? No. Then what I'm going to do? I figured out how to make the shirt, what product to make. So I recall how Tony Fernandez from Asia overcome his challenges. If an airline with hundreds of millions of dollars of a plane, they can advance you the sales of the ticket, why can't I advance the sales of my shirt, right? Back then, nobody know, if Tony would ask his friend, bro, would you walk 2 kilometers to the plane in the hot sun, and actually there's no seat arrangement, and you have to buy your drinks yourself on the plane? You think people agree? No. And someone have to buy ticket online back in 10 years ago, because that time the behavior is all buying through travel agents. So he will get a no answer too. So why don't I start? Because I believe if I don't break through my business model, I could not make this shirt affordable to everyone. Because I realized the biggest problem of the apparel industry is the overstocks. Okay, so by doing pre-order, I eliminate not just all the unnecessary business process like retail, stuff like that, but I also eliminating all the inventory. So this I was during the launch, I try to share the story. 6 weeks before the launch, I tell people what I do. I have a perfect white shirt for Asian people. I want to sell for $69. Guess what? I only have 400 people sign up for interest. 400 people, okay? And I didn't give up. I know there was something wrong elsewhere. I keep asking for people until a master from Australia, he's a brand master, his name is George. He told me, CK, there's something wrong in your communication. People don't sell products. People sell story. So then I recraft the whole thing, still selling the white shirt. I explain how my journey began, what kind of problem I want to solve. And that got a lot of encouragement. And within from 6 weeks before launch, with 400 sign-ups, we reached the target of 60,000 sign-ups just before the launch. And the peak of the day, we got 8,000 sign-ups a day. And all I contribute that to a right angle, that is proper storytelling, to say what I want to do, plus the 99-cent promotion that makes it very viral. But the basic of that is I have the why I want to do this, and I connect to customers. And I need to tell you a little bit about my journey. We start validating the business ideas by working from cafe. I don't have the luxury of renting an office and start it. So she's my staff. Her name is Sue Ann. She's 001. And we work 4 months in the cafe because we want to save money. We even can't afford a place like AirCat because that has to be paid fees. So we work at a cafe, we get free Wi-Fi, and we work relentlessly day and night just to validate the idea, because every penny that we save, we spend on Facebook advertisement. Because additional one person know more about Oxwhite, there's additional one more potential sales. So that's how we began the journey. Until a week before we launch, and I'm towards the 50,000 sign up, I only signed the lease for the office and set up the company. So although we have the sign up of a momentum of 60,000 sign-ups, but start coming a lot of negative comment on the Facebooks. And this is one of those. For those who can't read Chinese, it says that this company only opened their Facebook page on June 12th. If you want to transfer the money to them, please beware and use your brain. Where's the logic? So, and all these discouragements come. So how did I overcome it? And even I have people just go to every ads that we have, people private message like they're interested in a shirt, they will reply spam, spam, spam. Oxwhite is a spam. I don't know who they are people like that. So how did I overcome it? Is calling all my friends that I know from all over the world, including my previous business partner, my friend wife, to get a review for myself, CK, how CK do as a person. Do I keep the promise and deliver this thing? Because people have to pay money, wait for 4 months for the shirt. And this is a launch day on June 30th. As you know, we only have 1 staff, and all these are neighbor kids that come and help us to do the launch. I promised them, you get free lunch and you get to learn how to mingle with, potentially 50,000 customers at the same time. I need your help. So there they are. All the neighbor kids came and helped me to answer a customer service. So this is how basic that we operated. So we are very lucky. On the first day of the launch, the first 5 minutes, we sold 1,000 shirts. And throughout the day, the next 24 hours, we sold 6,000 of those. Up to date, we are very blessed. I don't say we have 13,000 customers. We have 13,000 believers that believe these models can make a difference to them. So being able to have this result, you will wonder, we must let the media pick up the story, right? And get more people know about us. But I asked all the friends, look, they say, CK, today the media lacks of advertising avenue. The only way for you to get article from them is what you do, you advertise. And then you will get, let's say you advertise a full page, you will get a half-page article. But we will not have the budget to do that. So I used the guerrilla marketing I used to have in school. I said, look, let's go back to the basic. Let's do this. Let's do a bouquet of flowers, handwritten the letter, hot stamp it, make it so personalized, and give to every writers, every editors, every manager in the newspaper and magazine industry. Okay, so I have intern help me to go through who is the list, and we do hundreds of this, and that's how we got featured in a lot of medias. And all these are free because we choose to do things differently. I see a roadblock, but I never let that deter me. So I choose that to touch the heart one at a time. Like the Star paper, within 2 hours, the Star paper is the paper I really like to be featured because I can get it in nationwide, and that's a benchmark. And within 2 hours that I send out the flowers and the box of gift like this, I get a call, an email from the writer saying we want to feature Oxwhite. By the way, I do all this without name card, without my contact, and without media kit, because I don't want to do with a purpose. I want to do to touch the heart. I don't want to say, oh, you get a gift and you have the write up to write for Oxwhite. So I want to wow the media. So this is the way, and we have successfully done it. And this is a good review we have from customers as well. As I say, Oxwhite, we being started is just a 5.5-month-old company, but customers are very excited for our product. And this is the colors we just launched about 10 days ago, and it's part of the marketing is tag and share, which you can implement in your business as well. So within 24 hours of us publishing this thing, we got 3,281 shares, and all organic. And this is us just to launch the colors of the shirts. So truth to be told, a lot of campaign, just has to be done from the heart. You sometimes cannot, judge from economy return, because if you can judge from economy return, the response will be economy return as well. You will not get surprises. This we do from the heart, and this is a surprise we get. And today, I do need a small help from the audience today, is that, being Oxwhite and being new in the business, we do stumble a lot of surprises. For example, recently, we have a batch of delivery we had to send to customers, and we promised them by mid-November delivery, and we have delayed it by some of the customers get it until today, slight delay 2 to 3 weeks. They get really nervous because this group of customers, sometimes they are new, so they start, posting reviews, say, "Wow, Oxwhite, you're cheating my money," and then why the shirt delay. So, and I told them, look, I published a video, I apologize to them, because being new in the business, I didn't know how long does it take to pack this packaging box when I sold them 4 months ago. And this is the mistake we make. We underestimate the packaging it needed to pack each Oxwhite shirt. So give us time. We don't want to cut shortcut, but some customers, they lose patience. So and then some give us a relatively low review, 1 star because you are late. So I would love audience today if you can, listen today our story and give us a good review on the Facebook page in the next 3 hours if you can. And I promise you, those that have a good review, I will personally send you Oxwhite shirt without you waiting for 4 months. Is that okay? Yeah? So go to the oxwhite.com and there's a review page. You can share anything. This is exactly a shirt it is. You can review me as a person. You can review the business model if you haven't tried the fabric. For girls and boys, if you like, you can touch my fabric later. And this is me. So I hope the biggest takeaway today from the sharing is dare to make decision, dare to take action, because the path to success for myself is I dare to take decision in that split second. And I hope that the takeaway for you guys, and you can feel free to add me on my Facebook, on the company. So guys, within 3 hours, so I know it's this group of audience, so I don't get outside the group. So within 3 hours, if you can share your review, I truly appreciate it, and I will comment it personally. And thank you very much, guys. Thank you.